Hey there, welcome everyone to a Wednesday night watch talk hosted by yours truly, Bobby Legs. Happy New Year, happy 2025. It's been a minute, right? It's been a couple of weeks since I've done a stream, and the holidays are a busy time of the year, as you guys know. And so I was doing a lot of family stuff, kid stuff, and yeah, we got a little one of these little drum sets for what am I doing? This one for little Bobby Legs there. Anyway, that's terrible. Um, anyway, he was really happy, and it's really cool with these drum kits, right? I mean they're pretty reasonably priced, and they're just a whole lot of fun. So got that for him. Anyway, hey, I got my G-Shock, wearing a G-Shock here. Been wearing a lot of G-Shocks lately. Been rediscovering the love of G-Shocks that I've had. And it's nice to wear. Wearing a luxury pieces, it's great. But every once in a while, I just wanted just a nice little G-Shock. And today was one of those days, especially because last night we lost power in the middle of the night, and the kids came into the room and woke us up and basically slept in the bed with us. And it was like I just had the thought in my mind, like Little House on the Prairie, like back in the 1800s when everybody slept in the got no sleep. So very tired this evening, and I'm probably gonna have an abbreviated stream this evening. But I wanted to talk to you guys, touch base, and talk about one of my favorite subjects, and that's um, ORIS releases. But before we get into their latest release, I do want to say hello to you all individually. Marceau is here, and he's wearing his H0 for tonight. But he's thinking about switching to his ORIS. Yeah, I know. You guys probably have figured out where am I going with the with the stream this evening, right? I'm just happy as a pig in a poke. Okay. All right. Maison is I'm as happy as a pig at wait. Oh, that doesn't work. Never mind. Happy New Year to you, Maison. Hey, Joey B, what's up? How you doing? Mr. Wilson, what's going on? How you doing? Hey, Scott, he's sheltering from the LA fires. Oh boy, Scott, I hope wish you guys the best over there. And I know that's rough, man. I've been hearing in the news today, like it's pretty crazy what's going on over there. So hope you're safe and hope your loved ones are safe and your friends are safe. Underachieving watch collector, howdy to you, sir. Hey, my buddy Nilo5280. What's going on? Happy 2025 to you. Hey, Peter C is here. How you doing, Peter? Eric Mack. Hey, bud. Good to see you. Um, Green Legend Diver 39 tonight for Joey B. James is here. How you doing, James? Good to see you. Um, very proud of the stamina. Yeah, yeah. I heard Wolfgang is in North America, and so I know he flew in probably yesterday. So hopefully he'll be coming on in the next few weeks. I don't know if he's watching now or maybe he's having his early. Oh no, it's I was gonna say early dinner, but it's like 6 o'clock where he is, or 7 o'clock. So he's probably in bed already, actually. Um, anyway, Caliber is here. Good to see you, Caliber. Um, he's wearing a mad Swiss red. Love it. Love that watch. Love that watch. Hey, Corrado. They did a Kermit and saw how well the pink tutor did. And yeah. Um, yeah, but pink watches are interesting, right? Okay. Let's just negative 5.7 Celsius here, but I have no doubt you may have it a lot colder. What is that? That is like 20 degrees. Is that 20 degrees or something like that? Fahrenheit? It's 25 degrees Fahrenheit here right now. And it's been cold. It's been cold this winter. We've gotten um a pretty. We've been pretty much steadily in around freezing during the day, 0 Celsius, 32 degrees, and then like low 20s. And the problem is, last time when we lost power, we don't the heat doesn't come on, right? And so like, we were for a few hours in bed, and then like around 6 o'clock, I the power was still off, and I went downstairs and I started burning a fire in a wood stove, and then sure enough, about an hour later, the power came on. So um, all that work for naught. Nilo is wearing the Marathon GSAR tonight. Very nice. Rick is saying, imagine walking into your Aura City and saying you want to purchase this figure watch for your wife. Would it, you don't steal my thunder here, Rick, because that's something that was something I was thinking about, right? um, Eric Meg's wearing the Zin 103 on a bun and staying in. Very nice. 6 degrees this morning in my house. Yeah, Nilo, I know where you live, and it gets pretty cold. It gets pretty cold up there. And Caliber laughing because Caliber it's probably even colder where Caliber is right now. Okay, yeah. So let's talk about the elephant or the Miss Piggy in the room. ORIS. Well, we saw them release the Kermit collaboration last year, and I thought it was just uh, typical ORIS. I, I don't know what they're thinking, but whatever. It's not foreign to see these brands do these kind of collaborations with nostalgia, right? And the Muppets, certainly for me, growing up, I'm 51, but I remember as a kid, the Muppet Show being a big deal. But man, like, what have the Muppets done lately? Do you know what I mean? And and here's the thing, I guess it makes sense logically that Oris would go with a if they were going to perpetuate this collaboration, this farce, right? That they would have to um, go with a woman's watch, and then Miss Piggy is the obvious choice, I guess, in their mind. But oh my God, I mean, this is just awful. This is just brutal, and we'll get into some of the details of the watch, and I think they're presenting it here for a specific reason. But again, like, who is calling for, or who is clamoring for this Muppets, you know, collaboration here? Like, what have the Muppets done lately, right? No disrespect to the Muppets. Again, I loved as a kid watching the Muppets, but like, what was the last Muppet movie that they made, right? Um, Muppets Take Manhattan. Like, oh, geez, I mean, like, what have they done in the last like 20 years? What have the Muppets done in the last 20 or 30 years? And if you're not from the United States, I don't know if the Muppets are a thing in other parts of the world. But the Muppets were a TV show, right? And you had Kermit, and you had, and it was geared for kids. And every week they would have like a star, Hollywood star. It was like kind of like a Saturday Night Live, but for Muppets, right? Where you had a host, and they would do these silly little sketches that were geared for kids, and it was, I guess, humorous for adults. And so if you're gonna go this route, I get it. You do Kermit. The Kermit is a legend in the Muppet community. Um, but for me, like Kermit, I mean, Miss Piggy's nothing without Kermit, right? I mean, like, her whole thing is that she's in love with Kermit, and Kermit doesn't pay her any mind, and she gets upset and she throws fits, and it's just like, I mean, like, I just don't get it. I just don't get why Oris. I mean, this is not like some micro brand, right? Um, this is like an independent watchmaker with history, and doing something silly like this, I don't want to be like that guy, like get off my lawn. But I mean, like this is just like this is not your grandfather's Oris. This is not your dad's Oris. What am I talking about? What am I saying? Anyway, like Kermit. I mean, like look. I mean, like all due respect to Kermit and Miss Piggy, but these guys are not even on the Mount Rushmore, my Mount Rushmore of Muppets. I mean, and so you ask, Bobby Legs, what is your Muppet Mount Rushmore? James, I know, man. I know you don't have a problem. You're a little bit more lighthearted than I am when it comes to this. I probably take this way too seriously. I know you don't have any issues with these kind of collaborations. Um, I don't know. I guess I just shouldn't let this kind of stuff bother me. Um, but like who's the Mount Rushmore? If Fozzie the Bear, right? I mean, like Waka Waka Waka. I mean, legend. Um, Animal, Animal, probably the the best Muppet drummer of all time, right? I mean, nobody even comes close, right? Um, Beaker. I mean, the guy's getting blown up every experiment, every episode. Gonzo, anything goes with Gonzo, right? I mean, like this is what I'm talking about. These are like, and even like the B team of the Mount Rushmore, Sandy Eagle, Rolf, the other guy in the band that Animals in with the teeth, and he plays the piano and sings. That guy is a legend. Swedish Chef, exactly. So I don't know. I just don't get it, right? And like, and here's the thing, like it's one thing that I may be nostalgic for the Muppet Show as a guy, but women are not nostalgic about the Muppet Show. Like a woman in their 40s, in their 50s, they're not. They may just like look back and be like, oh yeah, I used to watch the Muppets, and that's about it. You know what I mean? Like and Rick alluded to this before. You know, I dare any one of you guys, if you're in the same age group as I am, and so is your significant other, you know, give them this watch, give them the Miss Piggy watch, and see what their reaction is. See what happens to you when you give them the Miss Piggy watch. You better make real sure that the lady in your life is really into the Muppets and really, really into Miss Piggy. Because otherwise, if you just show up and give her a Miss Piggy watch, man, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. Um, I'm just like thinking back, like, when I was growing up, like, like none of the girls in like St. John Nepomucene in Guttenberg, New Jersey grammar school. I mean, none of them had like Miss Piggy lunchboxes. I mean, it was Hello Kitty, right? Hello Kitty, right? Shira, maybe Shira. She was that like the female He-Man. No one, zero girls had a Miss Piggy lunchbox. Nobody wanted this. And look, I mean, I guess the person who's buying this is probably the same person who bought the current watch and who's going to buy what other collaborations, um, further collaborations with the Muppets, they're going to buy. I mean, that nobody's buying their significant other this watch. And let's just and just to wrap it up real quick. I mean, they put this they're smart at least here, right? I mean, this is the one thing I'll give Oris credit. If you recall, with the Kermit watch, you had the Kermit in the date aperture at the 6 o'clock, like first of the month or whatever. It was the Kermit picture. They don't do this here. They put a well, they put a diamond baguette here, but you know where they put it? They put they put it in the back. Why? Because they know this is a terrible idea. They know this is terrible. It's so bad that they knew better that they couldn't put it in the front of the watch. So they put it in the back of the watch, right? And finally, like, it's 2,800 Swiss francs, not limited. Really, not limited. I mean, this one should be limited. Uh, it, it, it- yeah. Okay. So enough of that. Um, let's take a look at a couple of other releases that I would like to highlight. Um, it's the year of the snake, and we're seeing a lot of these come out. I like when they do this. I like um, when brands do the Chinese zodiac years of. I think they're pretty cool. Um, in an artistic sense, right? I mean, like Brigade, we have this snake here with the Classique 714. I mean, I'll never buy one of these. I mean, and I don't know of anybody who would, unless they're really, really into the animal of the year that they were born in, right? And I'm sure, I mean, I'm sure there's people out there for sure. I don't know any of them. Maybe I do. Maybe one of you guys are secretly into this. But I think this is cool. I like this. You know, I mean, it's probably hell of expensive. But yeah, I mean, it's like 80,000 euro. And limited edition to eight. So this is what you. Yeah, I mean, like you make it very very exclusive, limited edition to eight. This is great. This is how you do it. This is how you do it, Brigade. Kudos to you. Only make eight of these. Absolutely, absolutely. Sorry. Let me go back here. And catch up a little bit before I keep going. Um, there's a historic reason for the Silver Snoopy Speedmasters. That would be one. I don't mind that. I mean, look. I mean, not all collabs are equal, right? Um, I don't have a problem with the Silver Snoopy Speedmasters. It's an award given to somebody who goes to space. I don't know what the award, but it's given to an astronaut, right? And I think that that's kind of cool. That Omega does something with that theme. Um, We've is like I kind of like that pink. I'm all about red. Brent doesn't like this. The baseball collab watches they did are better, but I think I have collab fatigue. Yeah, I mean they had the Clemente, they had the Aaron. That pointer date is a good looking watch. I mean, I like that Oris that pointer date with the collaborate. But again, like you got to be really into these athletes to get that. That's and I guess and and I know they work together with. This is all for like like charity and stuff like that, especially with the baseball players. I guess maybe I think maybe the Muppet one is too. Um, and so the good part of these collabs, I guess. But I mean, like, yeah, man. I mean, collab fatigue, Corrado, that's a real thing, and I definitely have it. Gem, I remember Gem. Um, how about an Oris Cookie Monster blue dial with some chocolate diamond hour markers? I mean, that's better. That's better than the Miss Piggy. Just make the pink watch without, I mean, didn't they do that with like the candy, cotton candy? Wasn't that kind of pink? Okay, all right, Wilson. Moving it on. I understand. The Seiko Star Wars Yoda, but it's a Seiko. It's Star Wars. Yeah, I don't got a problem with that. Um, as a kid, I loved the hecklers. Beaker, Swedish Chef, Pigs in Space, maybe for the intro. Yeah. I showed my photos of my watch, to this watch to my wife, and she says it was pretty. So what do I know? Yeah, I mean, like I mean, like the front of the watch, like you wouldn't know it's a Miss Piggy watch, and that was at least smart on Oris. to do that. Um, there's no way they sell any of that if the Miss Piggy comes up appears in the front. I mean, it's a tough color, right? I know people like pink watches, but it's a tough sell generally, I believe. And then you throw that, you know, caricature on the dial. That would be I think that would be a tough sell. Um, Bruce is it so good? Is it so bad that it's good? No, 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 it's not. uh, anyway, let's hear Kevin saying Channel 10 News will do a story on me at the circus at the Citrus Connection bus terminal. Oh, okay, awesome. Yeah, let's get a wrist shot there, Kevin. On the on hopefully we get a wrist shot and see what you're wearing on. What is your interview watch? TV interview watch. Um, there is probably someone who will have a full zodiac. Yeah, probably right. Um, Chopard Urushi is better. Yeah. Um, a couple other brands are getting into the spirit of the thing. You got Hublot, Spirit of the Big Band, Year of the Snake. This is interesting. Um, I mean, I think Hublot has Hublotized the Year of the Snake watch here. This is how they do it. Um, okay, I don't know if I'm into it. I got to be honest. I don't know. Looks a little much. I like it. I like my Zodiac um, watches more. Is it Zodiac? Is it really Zodiac? Year of the Animal watches more classic in style. Even though Jeans jumped in on this with the Conquest, I really like this. Although you don't know if it's a Year of the Snake watch until you look in the case back, which is all right. I mean, I want a little hint of it in the front, but just a good looking timepiece. If you can't afford the Breguet or the Hublot or who else, I mean, I'm sure Vacheron's going to be coming out with one. 3350 limited editions to 25 2025 pieces. Sorry. Um, Wilson mentioned Union Glass. Oh, the Union Glass suit is that the one you want to see, Wilson? Where is that? New in 2025. Was it on monochrome or was it on this is probably on Instagram. I know you posted it somewhere and I saw it. But let's see here. Let me type in Union suits release. Uh, mm, yeah, I'm not sure, Wilson. I don't know. Monochrome did a YouTube video on it. Okay. I have a question that needs to be answered. Does Bobby Legs still respect Horace? uh, I do. I respect Oh, yes, I do. I do still respect Oris as no, I don't. I can't. I can't. I was trying. I'm sorry. I just don't. Uh, Bobby Legs loves to hate. But I don't want to. I really don't want to, James. Um, I just, man, I root for them. I mean, I used to root for them, and I think like stuff like this, is just not appealing. I mean, it's probably appealing to everybody except for me, right? Hey, let's take a look at that. Um, these IWC. I mean, these are beautiful. I know Michael B. Um, just mentioned that. Um, I love these watches. The Portugueser. I love the Portugueser. I'm not crazy about. Okay, I would say that I'm not crazy about the Chrono. Although I know there's a lot of people here who are big fans of the Portugueser Chrono. But I like the simple, you know, small second and the power reserve display. Um, I love these two, and and they have this rose gold. They came out with this one. Just a beautiful, beautiful looking watch. Beautiful looking watch. Portuguese are definitely, you know, not as. I feel like it's the model line that flies under the radar a lot with a lot of watch people because you think of the pilot watches, of course, with IWC. But yeah, I mean the Portuguese is a beauty. Um, so Oris isn't as silly as some of the Moser games. Yeah, I mean like Moser, yeah, that's a good point, Rick. Um, it seems like Moser is more gimmicky for sure than Oris. Oris just has questionable taste when it comes to collabs, in my opinion. Um, but uh, Moser definitely more gimmicky, for sure. Okay, we're half hour, and hey, look. Let's I know, so you guys are here for the watches. I wanna talk quickly about the football playoffs, just because I have a team that's finally in the playoffs. And I just want to really go over the bracket here, the playoff bracket. I apologize for those of you who are in outside of the United States who may not find this interesting at all, but I'm just going to do a few little minutes of football talk, quick predictions on my end. And just before we get into this, next week, hopefully we'll have some more people on, and we'll talk more watch stuff and have a good discussion there. So just hang in there. Going to get back to a regular schedule for the rest of the foreseeable future. Um, anyway, let's get right into the playoffs. Okay, so you know, look, I in if Washington, which is my team, was not in the playoffs, I think I'd be rooting hardcore Lions and supporting my wife's team, the Eagles. But hey, Washington's in, and the gloves come off. Okay, so let's go here. I'm gonna give you my Super Bowl picks. But I'm gonna walk quickly through the games. Texas at Chargers. I really have no confidence in that Texas team. I know that they're a fourth seed. I do see the Chargers winning that game, especially at home. Ravens and Steelers. I think the Ravens actually go into Pittsburgh and win that game. No, they'd be hosting that game. Sorry. I see what. Okay, I'm used to like the teams in the bottom being the home team in some of in these brackets. Okay, so Texans are home against the Chargers. I still think the Chargers are going to win. Ravens, I think Ravens are going to beat the Steelers. Bills Broncos. I don't think it's a contest. Bills push through and win. Then we have the Chargers going against the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs win this game easily. Ravens at Bills, in the cold Buffalo. I think Bills win that game and setting up a 1 and 2 seed, very very boring and predictable championship game. And I see this time around the Bills getting through to the Super Bowl. Guys, let me know what you think. Ken is checking in here from Pittsburgh. Um, sorry, I don't think your Steeler teams are gonna. I think the Charger. I mean, the Ravens are gonna get through to you. I know, Nilo. Sorry, Broncos. Don't think they have a chance against the Bills. Sorry about that. Uh, I know, man. I'm sorry. Joey B is rooting for the Bills and the Birds. I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening. Okay, Rams versus Vikings. I think you got to go with the Vikings on this one. A much better team than the Rams. Even going into LA, not a problem. Buccaneers and hosting the Commanders, Washington. These guys face off in game one, and Buccaneers actually handled Washington very, very well. And look, man, that game, like the first series that Jaden Daniels had the ball, I think he fumbled the ball like in the second snap, and I was like, oh man, here we go, man. I was not a fan of that pick. I thought they should have gave Sam Howell another shot at quarterback this year. Maybe trade down that second round, second pick in the draft. Give him actually somebody to defend him. Work on that line. Um, get some more picks. But look, this is why I'm not a general manager. I mean, like I wouldn't have made that pick for Jaden Daniels, and he's turned out to. I love the guy. The guy's the best. He's awesome. Having said that, Washington beats Buccaneers in the rematch. I think Washington, the team you do not want to face in the playoffs this year. Eagles Packers. I think Jalen is still questionable, right? I mean, he's still got to practice a full game and make sure he passes the concussion protocol, right? Yeah, Steelers don't have a chance. Sorry, Ken. Yeah. Must be nice having a team. I hate myself every time I wear silver and black. Oh, buddy. Sorry, James. One of these years, the Raiders. Hey, look, I feel you, man. I feel you. Okay, Jalen practiced today, right? So he's gonna have to like get checked out tomorrow, right? I think that's the rules. He's got to be checked out for the concussion protocol. The day after practice. Okay, so if Jalen is playing, and I'm going to assume that he is. I think the Eagles beat the Packers. Okay, Lions hosting Vikings. Man, can the Lions beat the Vikings 2 games in a row? Man, I know they handled them pretty pretty easily. The Lions did that last game. I think the Vikings are gonna, give them their best, but I do see the Lions pulling through here. I do see the Lion pulling through. Um, Next matchup, the Eagles and Washington, NFC East rivals again, playing for a third time this year. Last time Washington won, they knocked out Jalen Hurts, knocked him out in the first quarter. Came back and won that game. Again, Washington, a team you don't want to see in the playoffs. I think Washington wins. Surprise! I think Washington goes to Philly and wins that game. Okay, so we have Bills on the one side, we have Lions against Washington in the NFC Championship game. Reminiscent of, I think it was 1991. Was it 1990 or 1991 when they faced off in the playoffs? And Washington handed Lions a defeat. I think they do it again. I think they hand the Lions another defeat in the playoffs. Sorry, Lions fans. Lions don't make it. And then we have now Washington against the Bills. And it's not even a contest. It's not even a contest. The winner of Super Bowl 59, is it 59? Is that what that is? LIX 59? Your Washington Commanders. That's how I see it. You heard it here. Washington Commanders going all the way and winning the Super Bowl in Jalen and in Jaden Daniels. A first, first season. Wake up from the dream, Rob. Oh, but I can dream. I can dream. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Drugs are bad. No way. No way. It's gonna happen. Yeah. I know. I know, Nilo. Wow. You didn't see that coming. You didn't see that coming. Anyway, guys, really appreciate you hanging in this evening for the short and abbreviated uh, stream this evening. Next week, I promise, going to be more excitement um, and and more watch talk, and hopefully we'll get some good hosts, some good panelists on there, and we'll have some fun. Anyway, have a great night, have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys next week. No awards. I tried Maison. I tried the old crew. Um, I couldn't pinpoint a time. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe we'll have something. Anyway, take care, guys. Have a good one.